For years, Al Pacino and Diane Keaton captivated the world with a connection that seemed to shine both on screen and behind the scenes. Their chemistry carried warmth, laughter, and a touch of something almost magical. Fame, truths that eventually unraveled their relationship. And now, following Diane's passing, Pacino is finally opening up about what really happened between them. His words reveal the emotional story fans have waited decades to hear. Diane Keaton passed away in California on October 11, 2025, at the age of 79. Her family shared the heartbreaking news through People magazine, and immediately, tributes poured in from around the world. Fans posted iconic clips and photos, honoring the woman whose grace, intelligence, and charm transformed every film she touched. Major publications reflected on her extraordinary career, calling her an artist who redefined authenticity in Hollywood. Her influence stretched nearly 60 years, leaving a legacy marked by creativity. Just a soft, private farewell from those who loved her. Online, millions mourned, revisiting her greatest roles and celebrating the magic she brought to cinema. Her presence held something rare, a sincerity that drew people to her instantly. Often spoke about the imprint she left on him, both as an actress and as a person. Their friendship endured through the decades, built on deep respect and a quiet understanding. Diane's lively, playful energy balanced Al's more introspective nature. Even without marriage or labels, their closeness was unmistakable every time they appeared together. When she died, fans didn't just grieve, they celebrated the woman who inspired generations. Her name became synonymous. After her passing, Pacino's earlier interviews gained new meaning. His soft, emotional remarks about Diane, made when he was already in declining health, suddenly felt like a goodbye he had spoken before the world knew she was gone. When she first met Al, they were asked to perform a love scene in a dimly lit bar. It was awkward, quiet, and full of uncertainty. Diane recalled how Pacino barely spoke, sitting in silence with cigarette smoke curling around him. The two attended events together as the film's success exploded, yet both guarded their personal lives. Diane later mentioned that after the premiere, Al invited her to a small restaurant near Central Park. That dinner became the first moment they connected beyond their characters. She said she admired how genuine he was, never trying to impress anyone. As fame swept them into the spotlight, their connection deepened. They worked together again in the sequels, and during the years after The Godfather Part 2, their friendship grew into a private romance. They were rarely flashy about it. Friends remembered them choosing simple moments, talking for hours, discussing theater, philosophy, or the pressures of their craft. But fame is never simple. While their careers soared, their relationship began to feel the strain. Diane loved expression and openness. Al preferred privacy and solitude. Annie Hall catapulted Diane into global fame, turning her into a fashion icon and artistic symbol of independence. Al, meanwhile, took roles that demanded emotional extremes: Scarface, Serpico, Dog Day Afternoon, films that shaped him into a legend but consumed much of his inner world. Their differences, once charming, grew heavier with time. Diane embraced interviews. Al avoided them. She built friendships easily. He kept his circle small. She wanted clarity and permanence. He struggled with commitment. The late 1980s brought more change. Diane settled mostly in Los Angeles, exploring directing and smaller artistic projects. Immersing himself in theater and rarely appearing publicly. Diane and Al returned to their iconic roles, even though their romantic relationship had ended years before. On set, Diane remained warm and social. Al stayed thoughtful and reserved. But once the cameras rolled, their connection resurfaced effortlessly. Diane called the experience emotional, closed. At the time, Al was navigating personal challenges, he had become a father, and the situation caused pain that rippled through their friendship. Diane later wrote that she had waited for years for Al to commit, but eventually, she realized she couldn't wait anymore. Their goodbye scene in the film reflected that truth. It wasn't acting, it was farewell. Their split wasn't caused by one event. It was years of alcohol struggles, rumors, career pressures, and emotional distance. Behind the glamour, both were dealing with battles the public never saw. But after decades of silence, Pacino finally began sharing pieces of the story.